Hello, hello, and hello. Greetings to you. Glad to see you today on this Thursday, May 1st. Is that right? Is that May 1st? Yeah, it is May 1st. I knew that, but I was just checking. But because it doesn't seem like it's May 1st. I don't know why I say that, other than the fact that I believe April went very, very quickly. And we are already here at May 1st. Welcome to Journal with Me. I'm Kathy Hampton of Wellness and Healing Practices for women 50 and over. The nice, mature space in time and season. And formerly, um, well, not formally, but also Wellside Retreats. You may know that I um, uh, kind of started my YouTube channel um, with talking about more or less retreating and still do. But retreating is a, I now consider it to be a practice, something that you do um, on your life's journeys. You retreat or go to a retreat or spend time retreating for peace and quiet. But you also do it to move away from what no longer serves you, and you take space up in a different way and find a respite for yourself. So, if you're seeing this in the future, yes, this is Journal with Me on a Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I thank you for dropping in the future to see it as we meet in community to journal together, to practice what is healing and beneficial to us all. I just so happen to believe that you can find a lot out about yourself through journaling. Um, and it becomes a practice and is beneficial to your well being, body, mind, and spirit. So it also makes you aware, keenly aware, opens yourself up to yourself. You are able to download what might be on your mind, on your heart, your spirit, and understand what your body might be telling you if you were to download um, what your body is doing, right? How it's sleeping, how it's resting, how it is moving you throughout the day. And we meet here at Journal with Me in community to inspire one another, motivate one another, um, and hold space for good vibes. Um, and it's really important that we spend time together because we are not alone in this world. We are here in the world amongst millions and billions of people, as well as animals, for a reason. And that is so that we are not alone and that we have relationships and learn how to get the best out of relationships. And that's very important. So, if you're seeing all of this now, welcome, 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 Catherine Muhammad. Good to see you here again. And Kim S., it's great to see you also. I'm glad that you all came and spending time with me this morning. Who Abba? Hey, Abba. Good to see you here again. Happy Thursday. And yeah, we spend time together. And again, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, if you are watching this and are able to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and ring the notification bell. And one more thing that I'm going to ask you to do, if you haven't done it already, is buy me a coffee for today. I appreciate it. It just helps me out with my channel. Um, pay some bills, but also potentially helping to send someone on a retreat, or to um, even decrease the cost of maybe some of the coaching that I do. So it's very helpful no matter what. If you could buy me a coffee. So anyhow, let's get started today. It has really been a great day for me thus far. I got up early. I will say that today, if you don't know, if you're not in Europe, um, uh, in or Portugal, wherever you are in Europe, today is actually um, Labor Day here, and just about everything is closed here. You have a few local neighborhood coffee shops or cafes are open to meet the needs of the neighborhood. People are sustained by the coffee and the bread or the pastries, but also there are quite a few tourists around, and the cafes are open for them, but mostly all the businesses are pretty much closed. Buses and metro transportation systems are working, but people are taking off. In the United States, our Labor Day is later, but ours, I mean, today is Labor Day for Europe, not just Portugal. So I got out because the sun came out. Thank goodness. You can't open buy my coffee. Not again, really? Okay, hold on. I'm a, I don't know why, but I'm gonna put the link. I'm copying the link again, and I don't know why it doesn't want me to be great and get coffee money. I'm gonna paste that in there and see what you can do. Um, yeah. So see if you can get the coffee. It's not active, huh? Okay. Even in the comments. All right. Well, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Um, hmm. Yeah, it says share page link. It's not coming up. So, yeah, I don't know why it is that way. Um, hmm. Hey, Katrina Lilly. It wants me to share the referral link. Maybe this will be it. The HTTPS is on there. Good to see you, Katrina Lilly. Yeah, yeah, good to see you. So anyhow, let's get started. How are you guys doing? I want to check your vibes. How are you vibing? What are your emotions? Those are vibes. Our vibes can be up and down. They're wavy. They move. How are you doing today? How are you feeling today? What's going on with you? Check in with yourself and make a note of how you're doing today. I've had a good day thus far. I took a walk. I went to a cafe. I found a cafe. It wasn't crowded, but by the time I finished my beverage, and I did a little writing, it was crowded, and it was crowded with tourists. People are taking this I guess, a long weekend here to get around Porto or the surrounding areas. And so I took a walk, and um, the laundromats are open. People are doing laundry. Um, yeah, it's really quiet, but it's a great day. They're doing some construction on the park across the street from me out there, and I wanted to see how they were doing, and they're still working away at it. And it's people are still enjoying the park, even though there is construction. They've left parts of it open. The dogs have their place to be, and the children have the playground still open. There's a small basketball half court, but I can walk around the entire park, so it's all good. So I did that and walked around the neighborhood, saw a few new things I had never seen before. And yeah, there's actually a aerial yoga studio that also has pole dancing lessons. I thought that was cool. Right in the neighborhood up the street. And it's called Studio Up. Studio Up. And they were having class today. There's another yoga studio that I'd never seen before that's close by. And there's a hotel that offers day passes for their rooftop pool, indoor pool, as well as their spa. So, and it's just not even a half a block away from me. And I just found that out today. I walked in and asked questions. So, I just want to encourage you to go in and ask questions wherever you go. If you want to know something and want something, and you think that somebody might have something for you, go and ask some questions. And yeah, I can make a reservation for the pool whenever I want. And hopefully, I'll be able to have public pool pass as soon as my residency card comes. Think about that. Yeah, you have access to a public pool with other discounts. I could probably go to the public pool now, but I would have to probably pay a small fee. But with the residency card and the Porto Pass, you get a lot of things for free. So I'm looking forward to all of that. So that's how I'm doing. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling satisfied, content, rested. How are you doing? How are you doing today? And what are your vibes doing? How are your vibes? How are your emotions doing? Just want you to take note on this day, May 1st, how you were feeling. And please know that things can change throughout the day. You may be feeling up one minute and then a little hesitant the next. You might feel uh, down, and who knows what will happen. You might feel up, upbeat a little later. Um, but just roll with it. Allow yourself to roll with it and uh, not not feel stuck in that one place. Don't allow yourself to um, stop moving. Yeah, yeah. Just wanted to give you that. Hello, more peace, crazy horse's daughter. My peace. Y'all here today. Good, good, good. I want you to affirm yourself too. Powerful, positive statement about yourself. What is it? What is it for you today? How are you doing today with that? Oh, yes, crazy horse's daughter. I understand that. I am concerned about the fears of others and the world. Yes, that one's a deep one. Yes, we all are, at least I am, concerned. There are a lot of fears. Um, I talk to family members of mine. They're not talking about their fears about the world. They're talking about their individual fears. Um, some have not been what I would say directly affected as of yet. Maybe higher prices in food, but not their jobs, which is good. Um, but I am fearful of my male child more so than anything. Just about his daily walk in life because he's a male, a black male, and us black women fearful of us too, fearful of the horrible things that are happening to women um, of all colors, um, and yeah, so I am concerned too. And what I decided is that how I deal with somebody asked me, how do you deal with, you know, your fears? I I have actually decided that I can't take on um, the fears so much as what I do is I want to know the information because when not knowing information makes me more fearful. So I rather consume some of the information because a lot of it's repeated, and there's more information that's not out that I believe um, has me you know hesitant about things, and but I can't control that. But what I when you know something, you're more. I believe knowledge is power, and so I at first was avoiding news reports. So what I do is I look at headlines. And so if I see a headline and I say, "Oh, okay, I know what this is related to. I'm going to pass on reading that." There's something new that comes up, I read about it. And the news is different here than it is in the United States. There's a lot of filtering. And so I look at different news. I, BBC is a good place to find a good information. The Guardian is great, has great coverage as well, and because they're not having to filter their information so much um, regarding uh, the United States. So if I can't control any of it really, so, but I can control my knowledge and opening myself up to receiving the knowledge because I'm a curious person. I know how I feel about not knowing makes me more anxious than knowing, and makes me feel at least I can share with those who I care about. Um, so, yeah, I am very concerned, and that's how I accept the news. A good friend of mine sent me a really long text um, about the cutting of jobs at the post office, and you know that the post office has been a place that a lot of people have worked for many, many years, career uh, workers, postal clerks for years, um, and have good pensions or, social security, medical coverage. And he was just laying down how much, line by line that could potentially be lost to some of these people who have worked for years. And I have people in my family who've worked for the post office for many, many years. So, yeah, it's disturbing. And I have worked for many years, and I go ahead and look at my 401k. And yeah, it's just already disturbing. Trying to consider um, getting knowledge about what to do about all of that. So I'll keep you posted on that. Um, but yeah, it's all concerning. Dr. Donna, good to see you. Good to see you. And with even, all of what I've just said, some of it may be, if you're highly sensitive, which I believe I am, may be disturbing for you to hear me talk about. That is not the intent, is to not to disturb anyone, but um, these are the things that throughout the day, you know, um, can change your emotions, your mood, your vibration. Um, and what I have learned is that I embrace the day, and whatever comes my way throughout it, I know that I will stay focused and intent on on my path, on my intentions for the day, the staying present, um, and potentially making plans for whatever I can control, and whatever is not in my control, I step away from it. And that is what has allowed me to just keep it moving and staying on a higher plane. And I realized that probably in February that I was going to have to find a way to cope or manage um, my emotions um, and my mental well being by keeping it moving. And I encourage you all to do so. So find a yoga studio, find a walking path, find a craft, find something to create. Um, and if you are so able, if you are able um, to find out what is going on in the world, limit yourself to it. Don't consume all the time. It doesn't make sense to constantly watch the news. Some of our elders sit in front of the TV all day long, watching the most horrible things, including The View. I have a mother and an aunt and father who watch the same programs. They stay on one channel from morning till night, and they can recite the news with one another. Don't do it. It's not good for you. But you can't tell them that, right? So let's get let's calm our spirits, right? Let's get um, focused on um, our heart and our breathing, right? Yeah, the life that we still have right now in us by calming our spirits, getting seated in a comfortable space. I have a brand new chair. I'm so excited to say I have a new chair and a new desk, and this will help me create. So I'm comfortable in it. Please find a comfortable space for yourself. If you're in bed now, That sounds real comfortable. Get comfortable, sit up straight. You can sit up straight, right? If you want to lie down to meditate, you can. But sitting straight, shoulders away from your ears, closing the eyes or lowering your gaze, grounding your feet, grounding yourself with your feet on the ground, right? You can place your hands on your chest, feeling the ebb and flow of your chest and your lungs and the breath that is being moved throughout you, the air that you are inhaling and exhaling. Getting comfortable with your natural breathing pattern. Inhaling and exhaling naturally. And the cleansing of our vagus nervous system allows us to take even deeper breaths and exhale, squeezing out the air that is not natural to us, but is helpful as we can do that for ourselves. We can breathe deeply, exhale deeply as a function to help ourselves, to calm our spirits. There are things that we have under our control. As individuals, we can breathe to calm ourselves down. Use the life within us to move us fast or slow, but also to heal us. It's all inside of us. Spending this time throughout the day, the cleansing breaths, clearing breaths, calming breaths, whatever you want to call it, to allow yourself to breathe deeply and exhale deeply. So we'll start with setting an intention for today or for right now, for your practice of wellness. My intention for today is to remain peaceful. Set your intention. And now we'll begin the 3 cleansing breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose, holding it at the top for 2 seconds. Exhaling, squeezing the air out from our diaphragm. Our belly button should go inward when squeezing it out so much that your belly button goes toward the back. Inhaling, blowing the diaphragm up like a balloon, When you inhale, exhaling, squeezing the diaphragm and ridding yourself of that air. So let's do it. We're going to take our first cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose, holding it to the top for 2 seconds. Inhaling now. Exhaling, squeezing it out. One more time. Inhaling, peace, love, good vibes. Exhaling, fear, doubt, hesitation. Now, one more time. Our last cleansing breath. Inhaling, love, peace, and harmony. Exhaling, fear, doubt, and anger. Returning to your natural breath, your beautiful breath that keeps you moving, keeps you loving, allows you to think, wake up, dream, sleep, rest, live, laugh, hold, hug, cry, scream. It's life within us. All we have to do is keep on living. Moving around all the hurdles that may get in the way. It's all within you, the abundance that we carry. It's not money, it's not wealth. We have all the luxury of life within us. We can create the life that we want. It's not about how much. It may even be just the quality instead of the quantity. I invite you to speak a word of gratitude, whisper it, say it aloud. It could be as simple as thank you. And because it is Thursday, this Thursday and every day, I ask that you affirm yourself with positive, powerful words. about yourself, congratulating yourself, your worth, your value, because it's only you. No one else can define you. After setting your intention, speaking a word of gratitude, and now affirming yourself, gently and slowly opening your eyes, raising your gaze, looking out into the familiar place, and now smile just because. I want to remind you that you can do this clearing all throughout the day. And should anything change and you need a place to be, to cope, to sit still in, your vagus nervous system runs from the back of your ears, right? Down through the throat, the neck, into the esophagus, on the side of your chest. You can rub again behind your ears. You can rub behind them or pull the ears. Come stroking the neck, the front of the neck, and then to the décolleté. Okay. And with tapotment, tapping, tapotment, our butterfly, tapping on the front, the chest, to calm ourselves. All right. Anxiety can happen at any time. Be equipped to care for yourself when that happens. So let's get to our practice. Just because it's journal with me doesn't mean that you have to journal with me. You can do so, but you can also do the wellness practice of your choice: meditation, yoga, prayer, chanting. Nichiren Buddhism is, and chanting is a beautiful thing. Um, for sitting and resting as your practice. We will sit in our practice for 15 minutes. We will use the Koshi chimes again today. Hello, Pi Management. Thank you for joining us today. The Koshi chimes they sound like your chimes that you have outside, you know, the wind chimes. A little more exaggerated though. And we'll end with the Koshi chimes as well. And I'll be journaling. And I hope that you can stay um, for the reflection, the time of reflection. If anyone cares to share, that would be great. And yeah, we might have a question for the day. All right, let's get started. Okay. So we are done with our 15 minutes, but of course you can continue. You shall choose. Um, I continue with your practice. I think I have a short writing session, journaling session, because I had written some things earlier today. So, yeah, it was very succinct for me. It came up, and I'm using the little book I told you about before. It's called Ask. It has questions, daily questions that it asks, and I've been using this to ask you all questions. And just so happens that I turned the page, and the questions that it asks today has to do with breath, and and how we we know that we breathe, but it's still to me, um, when I started thinking about breath, was as our life force, really, and how we do so much, and it's a miraculous thing still to me that we have this life within us, and we sometimes just kind of don't realize how our bodies are working, and how much we um, sustain ourselves, through all the changes that our bodies go through. And I took a yoga teacher training course by an organization that teaches literal teachers, like school teachers, educators, how to do yoga, to teach it, present it to their students. It doesn't matter who you're teaching. It could be from, kindergarten through 12, through, you know, seniors, to anyone. But the name of the organization is called Breathe for Change. And I was taken by the name and looked into them even further before signing up for the yoga teacher training, because my my I guess people that I want to speak to um, are going through transformational change. Any woman, any especially Black women who I realized I should be speaking to, especially when other women were not interested in what I had to say. But I realized that Black and Brown women, especially, needed to realize that through the years of 50 and on, we go through significant changes in our lives after we've lived a really full life. There's still life to live. And we have to realize that our breath, as long as we are breathing, we can make significant changes if need be. And if we want to make changes, um, there are some people, some women, that I know very closely, I'm close to, who have been stuck in places and have not changed, and have missed out on the full, if I can say, the full breadth of their lives, the fullness of their lives, because they are stuck and have been. And which guided me not to be that way. And I'm talking about women who have persevered through many, many changes in their lives, and they have raised full families, have done all the things that, they thought they were supposed to do. Um, and they've gotten to a point where they've been, you know, some trauma has happened and they just stop. They stop because they feel they can't change anymore. They can't get to the point where they feel that they have it within them to make a difference or make a change, make any impact for themselves. And so they are the way that they are. And no matter what, they believe that they can't make a change. So I was interested in these questions that have to do with breath, because I believe that uh, our breath is given to us um, to make change in our lives, for and just to live our lives. And with that, living our lives causes calls for us to make change. So the questions today are you aware of your breathing patterns? Are you aware of your breathing patterns? Now, this is related to how we get up in the morning. Are you aware how you breathe when you get up out of bed in the morning? You know, when you walk to the kitchen, turn on the kettle or make the coffee, or go in and wash your face, brush your teeth. How are you breathing? What does it sound like? Right? What does it feel like when you first get up? You know, a lot of us will yawn when we get up, which is a natural response. Babies do that, they stretch. Sometimes, they open their hearts up and then they breathe and you have this long exhale. So that's the first question. Are you aware of your breathing patterns? In the evening, our breathing may be different. If you're a healthcare worker or, nurse or, tech, medical technologist or something, or you take vitals and, so you're aware of how people breathe. But some of us day-to-day folks, lay people who are outside of those fields, sometimes don't pay attention to our breath. And sometimes that's when we come into the doctor and say, I don't think that I'm breathing normally, or my breath is very shallow. We believe it's shallow. What does that feel like? How does it sound like? And then the second question is, how does your breath shift in different situations? For instance, that, emergency room visit, you know, what situation were you in when you were saying, oh, my breath is shallow? Or if you are at the gym, or if you're walking up a hill or down a hill, or walking downstairs, or, if you're in a crowd, how are you breathing, right? If you're seated calmly at a restaurant by yourself, looking out a window, how are you breathing? How does it shift, from you getting sitting down to getting up to walking out of that restaurant? How is it when you see someone you love, right? How do you how do you how do you are you breathing, 1 minute you haven't seen them, the next minute they walk through the door, you know. How are you breathing? Can you intentionally use your breath to shift your internal state? This is what we was just talking about. Can you intentionally use your breath to shift your internal state? You controlling how you breathe, depending on your your internal state. An example of that I would think would be you're sitting in a meeting and someone says something that you are outraged at, right? I'm going back and digging deep in my file cabinet instances where things have happened. And I'm sitting at a table and there are people on the sides of me, in front of me, Someone says something that's shocking. And because I'm an outspoken person, according to these people um, I've worked with, um, I have either held my breath, kind of like biting your tongue where you don't want to say anything, but you're kind of like holding your breath because you just don't believe it, or I'm aghast. I'm like, so, or you're just trying to keep your composure, and you you just breathe slower maybe, or you are fearful of something, and your breath is your heart is beating faster, and you might be those shifts, right? Sometimes uh you know we have to we those who've had children have to change the way they breathe when they're in labor, or if you're in a dentist's office and they're working on your teeth and you do not like the dentist, you may be breathing some kind of way. But what I notice when I go to the dentist, I hold my hands, and I'm really, this has started later in life where I hold my hands and I'm squeezing my fingers, I'm clutching my hands, and I feel some pain, and then I decide, you know what, it's time to calm down. So I do shift how I breathe. I calm yourself down, and I start to take deep breaths, and yeah, or I calm myself. That's the shift. So basically, the last thing of advice is to explore your breath and its impact throughout the day. See how you breathe, monitor yourself and the change in your breath based on your the shifts in your day. Just like you check in with yourself, you notice a change in your emotions, your vibe, sometimes the funk, the stink of what's going on, right? It might be a stinky day, or it could just smell like roses. It can change. So this change of breath, keeping check of how you're doing throughout the day. I've talked about anger, not recently, but I express that anger, the feeling of anger for me is almost like getting sick. When I get angry, I feel sick, and I don't like feeling sick. So I try not to get angry, but I have gotten angry, and it is all that I can do not to be angry is to either shout or uh, really take deep breaths. Um, I've had to leave, walk out fast in order to control anger from causing me to feel ill. Also, crying happens when I'm angry. Yeah, I don't cry so much when I'm sad. It's an interesting thing. But when I am angry is when I cry. So we all have ways of dealing with our emotions, but using our breath, the life that is in us, keeps us living. Our life force is one of the best things to learn how to do and to be knowledgeable and aware of throughout your life. This great life that we still have, this moment, as we move through many changes externally and internally, because we are changing uh, day to day. And one of the things that I wrote about today is that today I am at peace and want to laugh, smile, and be peaceful for as long as I can. I am at peace. That is my affirmation. I am at peace. And it feels good to say that because I am. I really am feeling a sense of peace. I don't know why, but I just am. That is, and I want it to last for a long time, right? You know, I want it to stretch. Um, Crazy Horse's daughter. This is cool. I have been practicing my breathing this year all day. Okay, even when praying over my food, I take 2 deep breaths. Yes, great. This is great. Yeah, and that's I like that. I really like that. When we eat, we're you know, many of us are grateful for the food that we are about to eat, to receive and to eat, right? So taking those breaths before we eat, um, it's a shift, gratitude, being able um, to fix our hunger, right? We may be hungry, right? And then, so taking a deep breath so that you can enjoy your food, right? Calming yourself down. The hunger can really be something that you are fighting, or if you may not even be so hungry, but just to know that you are preparing yourself for a shift in eating, consuming uh, a blessing to be able to eat, right? So thank you for that, Crazy Horse's daughter. It's a great example of any shift, any situation where things, things, just minor changes, things that we are accustomed to, things that are, we do from day to day that because it's so easy for us to be scheduled, right? We have these schedules and we want to stay in that rhythm, right? But what happens when things change, right? We need to learn how to be aware of our breath and how to use it to keep things going and flowing. Because as Crazy Horse's daughter said earlier, I'm concerned about the fears of others and the world. We are out of our comfort zones now. A lot of us are. And the fears, the discomfort with what may be happening, the unknown and the known, what is happening to others and to the world can stop you from breathing, can stop the full deep breaths that keep us calm. We might be holding our breath, right? That's what happens when we are anxious or nervous. There's stress. We hold our breath. I've told you about my holding my breath story. We won't talk about that. But it causes, when you hold your breath, all kinds of things can happen to you. All kinds of things can happen to you. You can break out. You can, our skin, our digestion, our we get foggy in the mind, right? We can pass out. Um, we become constipated, and I'm not talking about that digestion, but constipated. You're holding in things, right? So you can't relieve them. Everything becomes very tight, and it's harmful. It's harmful. So today's affirmation, powerful positive statement, I hope that you can come up with a real good one because we want to affirm ourselves in the most positive, powerful way because we have lots to love about ourselves, and we also have lots to celebrate. Um, and we take for granted all that we have done for ourselves, how we've made it, how we have been there for others, right? And how much abundance we have within us, including our breath. So do me a favor. If this has been, especially for those who are watching this in the future on replay, like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you're made aware when new videos or this live stream comes up on Tuesday and Thursdays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd like for you to make a comment if you're watching this in the future. And if you can see in the description, the buy me a coffee, copy and paste it and put it in your browser. Maybe it will work and maybe it will not be. Maybe it will not work. But if you copy and paste the URL, I'm not sure what's going on with it. It was working at some time. Or you can go to buymeacoffee dot, let's see, what is it? Buymeacoffee.org. Hmm. Let's see. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Yeah, buymeacoffee.com. Go to buymeacoffee.com and you can put in Kathy Well Aware to search for my coffee page. And you'll see wellness and healing. You'll see a picture of me on my banner. So you can do it that way. Buymeacoffee.com and then Kathy Well Aware when you're looking for me. Yeah, you can look for me. And yeah, that might get you to me. If not, it's all right. It's all good. So I wish you a great weekend. It is going to be a long weekend here for people. Today, tomorrow, people will probably take off. Saturday and Sunday will be great days. I believe I have good weather coming my way. I hope you have great weather and you can get out. We I hope that there are Mayflowers wherever you are, and you can spend time out in nature, breathing in good air, floral smells. Um, yeah, I wish and hope that is the case for you. I'll be back on next Tuesday and Thursday unless something comes up, and I'll try to send out a notice if I am not here. But things should be moving along as they regularly do. And I'm actually starting to prepare for our next salon, the end of May. I'll let you know what date and the time. It'll probably be the end of May, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday. So you'll know. But I hope that you have a good day. Make it a wonderful weekend. And yeah, you too, my peace. And yeah, I hope to have some information, impactful information, and um, I guess motivation and inspiration next week. Yeah, yeah. Have a great weekend. Much love to you. All right. Take care, and I'll see you next week.